Hello friends, Charmaine here with another video, and this time we are doing a huge pen haul. Today we are trying out a bunch of markers and pens from Ohuhu. So we will be doing an unboxing together with an honest review and a demo of how I used these markers and pens. But of course, before we jump right in, do click subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I'd like to thank our friends over at Ohuhu for sending over this huge pen haul. One of the things they sent over is this Ohuhu Honolulu art markers. This is the pastel set, and you get 48 colors, and you have a dual tip. You have the chisel and the brush. They also sent us these journal markers, over 60 pieces of them. This is the Ohuhu Maui, water-based and dual tip as well. Next, we have a set of calligraphy pens. So there are 10 black pens with assorted nibs. And finally, we have these Ohuhu acrylic markers. So what we have here is a set of 30 that are all waterproof, and they are dual nib as well. So from the time of receiving these pens to this moment of recording right now, I can only give an in-depth review of these Ohuhu Honolulu pastel marker set. As much as I love the bag it came in, I just prefer to put it in the acrylic organizer simply because I just think it looks cuter that way. These markers come with a couple of other things as well. So you get these swatch cards for all the entire set, which we will be completing later on. You also get a plastic sheet to put in between your papers so you don't get bleed through, and a very detailed brochure of their collection of markers, which I absolutely appreciate because it explains all the differences between the sets and it has a swatch for everything. But the actual swatches are usually different from what's on print, so I think it's important to actually do the swatches on the cards. I know the company tries to copy the color of the pen onto the caps, but sometimes it's just too bright or a little too dull, so it's important to have a swatch card. There's this learning curve of getting to know all the colors in your set just so you know which one to pick up. So it can get confusing, so my tip is to pick a couple of colors that work together, and I do it by portion. I've used these markers on its own, but I've also personally loved it when I use it for a mixed media artwork I just did. So this is a botanical illustration that I've been working on where I used the Ohuhu markers and watercolor pencils to get this effect. Here is another artwork that I've been working on, but this one I've used only the Ohuhu markers. As I've mentioned, I worked in sections just so I don't tend to grab so many markers at one time, and I can jump from just a couple of ones that I have in my hand. And since we're doing honest reviews, just to let you know, I haven't used markers in years. I think the last time I used markers was back at uni when I was doing architecture, when we were doing plates. So I may be a bit rusty. But these Ohuhu markers were very, very easy to use, and I didn't have trouble blending in the colors to achieve the grain that I want. Oh, if I didn't mention yet, the set does come with a 0A blender, which helps smooth out the rough edges of fine lines. It's been a long time since I did illustrations this size, and I'm realizing that it takes a while to complete the whole set. I'm just thankful for these markers because they make the whole process a tad bit faster. So that's the markers done. Now we're going to do a quick swatching for these calligraphy pens. So the set includes 2 pointed pens. So you have a 0.5 and a 0.8. So for the record, I have not really used these pens in depth. Rather, I just swatched them for this video. Also included in the set of 10 are 3 chiseled pens. So they're marked as 3, 2, 1, with 1 being the smallest nib and 3 being the largest in the chiseled set. Excuse my wonky handwriting using these chiseled pens. I haven't used these type of pens in a long while. Included in the set is 1 lone brush pen, which I love and I think I'll be using a lot of. Then finally, we have 4 other brush pens, but I think these are like the flexi kind of brush pens, not the felt tip. So you get them in 4 sizes: large, medium, small, and extra small. So yeah, these are the pen swatches on my MD notebook. Then we have our journal brush pens. So it is a whopping set of 60, which I haven't swatched yet, but thankfully it came with an already swatched card. So since it's journal brush pens, I wanted to replicate the wildflower painting that I did onto my planner for August, since August was like a wildflower month. So with the set, you get a dual tip. you have your felt brush tip on one end, and then you get your fine tip on the other. So I use the brush tip to make the body and the big shapes of the flowers for this sort of like design. So for these pens, depending on the color or the lightness or the darkness of the color, you can actually layer them up. For example, I layered the yellows and the oranges. After that, I just added in more details using the fine tip pen. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but I did add a bunch of details. So this is the final look of my drawing or flower doodles on my planner. And this is my watercolor sketch that I used as reference. I think I did a pretty good job of emulating that. And finally, we go to the acrylic markers, but unfortunately, I haven't really tried them yet in a full artwork. So I can't form a full opinion on it. So I think you should come back, subscribe, and I'll give you an updated version of this video when I do get a chance to use it in a full artwork. Anyway, if you'd like to purchase any one or all of these markers, you can head on over to Ohuhu, check out all the other stuff that they have on there. You can also use my code Chassis10 to get a discount. Will I be using these markers moving forward? Yes, I am very sure that you will see these markers in more videos from now on. Overall, these markers performed well and they did not fall short. Anyway, I'll end this video here and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!